because it's been kind of a rough day with so many different things to manage from having an appointment, it's hard to work out whether or not there's like a consistent improvement with the inner critic. I kind of think so though, because this was hard, but it wasn't like snowballing down into the abyss of self-criticism and shame and blame for everything that was hard about it. It was just hard in that it was physically exhausting. It was really demanding and taxing in terms of like how we had to regulate and how constantly and how much energy we had to use to employ new tactics all through the day. Just but yeah, you know, I actually don't think that the self-criticism inner critic stuff was so bad. The perseverating about being attacked was pretty intense, but it always is whenever we're engaging with anyone. So it's kind of, I've drifted off into attack fantasies a few times, found myself in like playouts of ways we'd have to defend ourselves to people. Yesterday, thank you. Yesterday, that happened. Sometimes it's like we can interrupt them for each other. Kind of recent, kind of after like building a lot of communication internally. So sometimes I'll feel like I'm having to defend myself and come up with stuff, and it's better than like, you know, it's built over time, because it used to be just getting attacked, and now it's like getting attacked and defending myself, but kind of keeping pace. And then Vince will like have my back and take over and like put these assholes in their place very effectively in some of them. But it's still kind of taxing in a way, because it's like, you still feel really far away, and you're still like spending time with this abusive person from the past in your head. So it's like, it's still exhausting and it's still destabilizing. I get really dissociated, come back into the room slowly, and like, it's just fucking draining. It definitely does some damage. And yesterday that was happening, and Vince like went to retort to this thing this asshole said that I felt like I had to defend myself from, and then he just stopped and was like, "You are not worth my fucking time," and just turned towards me and said it to me instead. And it like, everything felt like it came forwards and became much more real, and I could feel my emotions in my body again, instead of being like drifting completely separate from those things. And I could feel him next to me in the van, like next to the, like how we front in the inner world, just like next to me on the seat. And I could really feel that. We felt a lot closer to the body and to each other, and it felt a lot more comforting. So I wonder if this is a new way that things are going to change as well. That was definitely better. I'm so tired right now. I'm like physically trembling from how exhausted I am. Okay, like last step I need to put. And then we're good. And we're going in. I'm gonna rest. I'm so fucking drained. It's really uncomfortable and really difficult to make changes, like, cause, you know, obviously my brain was like, no, you don't have to come in with us. I deal with these appointments, we deal with these appointments, but so it was a change to have Ryan be there, and then to ask him to come into the room for support instead of being in the waiting room. All of that was really hard. It still felt really wrong to like have needs and ask for them to be met, ask for help, and like, isn't it? It's not a weakness at all. Just, especially to a lot of parts of me, it registers as burdensome, inconvenient, or weak, depending on which part. are going to leave us and or attack us because either we're a burden on them or we're weak. Now both. But none of those things are true, and I guess the more we like manage to put ourselves out there and let people help us, the more we're going to see that. Same for like Vince going, you know, I can take over the front if it gets too triggering, and my impulse to be like, no, I'm fine, I'll just dissociate, I'll just get through it, I'll just whatever. But then realising that he's got a tanky fucking tolerance for trauma, and it would help me to let him help, and it really did. Like, letting ourselves do things in a way that's easier. That's hard. That's cool.